And I had a guy come in, and he expected me to fire him, he expected me to chew him out, he expected me to really come down on hard. And what I did is the opposite. I said, look, man, I talked to him like I would in here. I said, I'm going to help you, and I'm going to challenge you, but there comes a time when you don't take what I told you, and you don't take the help I gave you, it's on you. I'm going to let you go, I'm going to fire you. While you're here, I'm going to help you. I'm not going to throw you away. I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to coach you to be the best that you can be. I know you got issues in your life. And all he did was like, man, thank you. He says, nobody's ever talked to me like that. Nobody. Everybody just throws him away. Everybody just throws him away. And I told him, I'm going to challenge you. And I'm going to be on you. I'm going to ride you. I'm going to ride you the best, be the best you can. I'm going to ride you so you don't fail yourself. So I'm going to challenge you to pray for the church, pray for people that you see come and go, and maybe you're a little bit unstable, and that God would bring stability and foundation in their life so they can be solid, so they can be consistent in one of their lives. One of the greatest things to success in your life is to be consistent. Not be wishy-washy, not here, there, a little there, but always in your life be consistent in what you do. Consistently improving, consistently getting closer to the goals that you have that God's given you. If you do that, you'll see progress. If you don't, then you start going backwards. You don't want to go backwards. I see people out there all the time that I wonder, God, how did they get that? How did they get to that point? Where did they fail? Where did they stop? Where did they make those decisions that they just got to the point? It was somewhere in their life they made a decision. Somewhere in their life they started just letting things go. And they got from there to where they are now. Complete massive failure. You have to every day ask God, Lord, where am I at? Am I moving forward? Am I moving backward? Where am I at, Jesus, with you? Where am I in my life? Am I with where you want me to be?
Nothing. God have made everything by design to work that way. Kind of like you study and you do physical training, everything. You can't put 8 hours in one day, expect results. It's short spans of consistency through months, years that give you the results. Nothing comes from one day.
You're right, it can't. Has to be, what God has put in my life recently is volume. The volume of things you do result in the increase in the production and the advancement. If you don't have a volume of things all the time, then you don't reach the potential. It could be like that in prayer. It could be in praise. It could be in reading the Bible. I watched this lady on YouTube. And she says, I did this in my life. And it showed me volume. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Got my ear. So she says, I can't do like 50 push-ups at one time. I can't do 100. She says, but I vowed that I would do 5. I would do 5 every hour on the hour. Every so often I would just go down. She says, I've done push-ups in the air, in the island airplanes. I've done push-ups here. She goes, I'll do push-ups all day long until I get to 100 push-ups, but I do them in spurts of 5. And I looked at her like, yeah, she's been doing push-ups. But she didn't sit there, I'm doing 100, and didn't do it for us. Every so often throughout the day, she did them. And she says it's volume, it builds up. She says, now, I say that with push-ups, but you can do that with anything in your life. Read a verse here, read a verse there, pray here, praise there. You know, do whatever it is in your life that you want a volume of results. She says it's that principle. And those are things that you have to, in your mind, think, okay, how much in my life did I dedicate to this today? How much did I not? And so, if I go out the door and I haven't read in the morning, that's why I get up at 4 in the morning. I get up at 4 in the morning because I'm going to the gym and I'm taking her with me at 5. So before I go to the gym at 5, I've got to woken up, at least got myself awake, showered, and then I'm opening the Bible, not this one, no, and I'm reading. I'm reading. So she walks downstairs and we're ready to go. And I go to the gym. Do I want to go to the gym some days? No, man, I just want to stay in my bed. I just want to stay in my bed. I don't want to go to the gym today. But why do I go? Because I see what happens to people that don't take care of themselves. I see they're hurt. Now their muscles ache. They have a hunched over, like they didn't work the muscle in the back for their posture. I'm not trying to be Mr. Olympia. I'm trying to not let the body that will deteriorate with age just lose it. And so now I've got to go. I've got to go with 15 more pounds off my body and fat. I was like, so wait, man, I was like really bad. And I've gotten down, and people say, "Why you got?" I say, "Yeah, but I'm not letting them tell me, oh, you're good enough." I'm not letting them tell me that. I got a goal. It's right here. But I have a goal. Why? Because I don't want to be anorexic. In my mind, what's not enough, never enough. Then you start having other problems. You go the other way, and then it's just as bad when you're not healthy, and you're like, you don't want to do that either. This is where I look. Okay, where should I go? Right here. Okay, more or less. If I get 5 pounds, I'm fine, as long as I'm in this area here. So, but I have a goal, and in the morning I read, and then on the way to work, what am I doing? I'm praying. All the way to work, I'm praying. I'm begging God for things in my life. So.
I thought you mentioned you didn't work out in the morning because it was kind of productive.
I thought it was too, but the reason I did is because at night is my social life with my family.
Mm.
So if I get home and I've been working all day, and yesterday I could have probably worked till 7. I woke up at 4. I didn't go to the gym. I said I'm going to go and come back. I've got a lot of stuff to do. I still have a lot to do. So I got up at 4, and my agenda for the day was not to be lazy, but to get there and get that work done. I got to get it done. And so when I get home at night, there's a baseball game for my grandkids. Did I want to go? I didn't want to go. But they're my grandkids. And at least they said, well, Grandpa was there. Grandpa, I was watching them. Grandpa was there. I'm going to go. Or I take her out to eat at night somewhere. That's how people work. The things I love to do in my life are go and break bread with my family. I go to a restaurant, go this. And I don't go just to go, I just go to sit there, relax, and break bread. So if I go to the gym at night, then I cut out certain things. I'm like, oh man. So where was the give? And I don't want to get up in the morning to go work out because then I'm putting that first instead of God. So what do? Get up earlier. I get up earlier at 4 o'clock in the morning. I wake up, I take a quick shower just to wake up, and I'm reading the Bible. I'm downstairs reading, and I'm just spending time. I go to the gym, and I gave myself an hour. Don't be in the gym more than an hour. So what do? I got to efficiently work out. That means I know what I'm doing, where I'm going. I don't waste time. I don't take a lot of breaks, and don't sit here talking to anybody. I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what stations, what I'm working on the day, where I'm going, and in an hour I'm done. Why? Because I got to get back, take another shower, so I don't smell bad at the gym, get dressed, and now I got to go to work. So you plan. It doesn't happen haphazardly. You have to plan. You have to execute that plan. The Army taught me a lot of things. It's a lot. Somebody one time, I said, look, man, whatever. I had a guy in Panama, he was a Marine. And there was all military branches there. The Army, the Marines, the Navy, and the Air Force was all there. Rodman Naval Base where SEAL Team 8 was located, SEAL Team 8, SEAL Team 10. A Marine detachment, the U.S. Army, and the Air Force were all there, different bases around Okinawa. And this Marine that I went to church with, he's like, I joined the Marine because I didn't have the proper foundations, and I wanted the Marines to help me to build the discipline in my life. He knew why I joined the Marine Corps. He joined the Marine Corps because he knew he was deficient in things in his life that he didn't get. Maybe he didn't get it because he didn't play sports or something like that, didn't have coaches, the structure, the demand. I just knew I needed it in my life, so I said, I joined the Marine Corps. I'm not a career man. I just joined the Marines to get this in my life. So sometimes God will take you through places to discipline you, to structure you, to help you. I mean, she walked in my room one time before we were married. It was a disaster. My room was a mess. used certain things in my life to transform me, to change me, to bring discipline in my life, to change my mind, and build structure there. Whatever you had to do. The Army's over. But I didn't forget the lessons, and now I'm looking at people. I didn't just stop. I'm 60 years old. You're not going to tell me that. No, I'm listening to Nick Saban. I'm listening to stuff that he's teaching me. I'm listening to stuff before that this, and I'm not going to mention all these names, and I'll listen to them. Even though I'm 60 years old. Why? Because I'm not done yet. I'm not done learning yet. The day that you think you know it all, you're in a lot of trouble. You're in a lot of trouble. If nobody can tell you anything, nobody can teach you anything, you're heading for a fall. You're heading for a fall. There's certain pastors, I listen to those pastors. Even at lunchtime, there's a certain pastor I listen to at lunchtime. I'll sit in my car and I'll eat my Panda Express rice, listening to that pastor. He's really good. He's a great pastor. He has the name of a country western singer I don't like, but anyway, same name. But he's a great pastor. I listen to him because he challenges me. He challenges his church. So anyway, I'll let you guys go. Have a great week and stay challenged. All right.
Sure. Any about the morning thing? Regarding, I wanted to ask you regarding about your diet and food. Because I mean, at the time that you're waking up, probably you're used to it. Don't you crash during the day? Because I've been noticing when I crash during like mid.
Hey, yeah, it's a great week. Crash out.
Like mid work, like mid shift. Do you think do you have anything in the diet? Do you have like are you used to it? You don't ever crash during mid work. Like I mean, just like a drop down, like in energy or lack of focus, or I read before because I'm getting trying to learn about diets, because when you eat a lot of glucose, like these calories thing, the insulin is working a lot, so the body takes to track. That's why it's good to eat more protein in the morning or something like that. I think that.
I was doing that and I switched, and I got a better result. I'll tell you how. Because I went back to the Bible and I looked, what was the original diet that God gave men? It was all plant-based. All of it was plant-based. And it's easy to get, and I've done it all. I've done the carnivore diet where all you eat is meat. And somebody says, yeah, I did it great. It was helping out, this and that. When I did the carnivore diet, it was all protein. It was all meat. It was all that, no carbs. I started getting scurvy. Scurvy is when you have a lack of vitamin C that builds collagen in your body. Where I got it, I was like, what's going on inside of my lip? And I'm like, it's like my lip inside was all disintegrating. I was like, that's scurvy. Everybody's, I don't have, because you don't need that vitamin C if you're just doing this, only when you do the plant-based, because this and this reaction. No, man, I was getting scurvy on the inside of my lip. It was all just disintegrating. No, I got to stop. Done. Right away, I got some vitamin C, and I started eating some more. Also, with the all meat, all protein diet, yeah, you're going to lose weight. The problem with that is that if it's not digested right in your system, you get fibrins. And fibrins are undigested proteins, which is where you get clots, blood clots in your body. And all of a sudden, your dad had blood clots. And you get a lot of blood clots. I got a guy at work right now who has a blood clot that hasn't gone away. I'm like, but he's all protein, all meat. He's all big, buff, muscle. I'm like, I have this much protein. I'm like, much protein? I'm like, man, your kiddies must be dying, man.
Yeah. That's true.
So with that, I kept changing things, and I found that I have less inflammation, less pain when I'm on the diet that I'm on now. But I went to all plant, because the plants have what God put in them to have bioflavonoids, like olive oil, that has a lot of the bioflavonoids that actually keep you young, that have antioxidants to keep your body from oxidizing in your system. Basically, that's from rusting out. You know, an antioxidant, oxidation is what rusts things
Rust.
out.
Mhm.
So you have the results of like these minerals in your body, and if you have over-oxidation, you're starting rusting out inside. Not literally, but figuratively. And then your arteries, you don't have the structure, the collagens. Yeah, oh, you get that from collagen and from gelatin. Is it? Wait a second. You have to have these bioflavonoids in that to keep everything supple. Some of the best things to keep it supple, like garlic and onions, that keep your arteries flexible. One of the ladies at work, she's the claims adjuster. Her husband, aorta, cracked.
No.
How do you get a cracked aorta when it's supposed to be soft tissue? Because it calcified. Yeah, just like a petrified forest, it used to be a tree, now it's like a rock. Because what happens in your body, you start calcification. And then what soft tissue turns into mineralization. Now you don't have the flexibility in your veins, your arteries. Then you got fiber in there causing blood clots. All these things happen, and you don't have enough magnesium to counter the calcium that we eat in abundance of, but not because of a lack of a plant-based diet. You don't get enough magnesium. Magnesium is the antithesis, if you will, of calcium. It keeps things supple. It keeps things from contracting. The lady who works says, now I've almost had a heart attack at times because the muscle in my heart is like a Charlie horse. But instead of my leg, it happens in my heart. And when that happens, there's no blood flow. And now she's got clots and she's got blockage in her veins. And they were going to put a stent there. She goes, we can't put a stent because here are two chutes coming into the main artery, just like a river that feeds into them. She says, if we put that stent here, we're going to block these two entrances. So we can't put the stent in all the way. We got a problem with you. You've got blocked arteries. On top of that, your muscle in your heart is contracting. I told her, I said, Kathy, are you not taking enough magnesium? And he said, I've read it all. I'm done. I didn't say no. Same attitude. Can't tell me nothing. I read it all. I'm done. I don't say another word. So there are foods, if you read about it, I know you guys, I'm challenging you to study it. Foods like pomegranates, granadas. Pomegranates are proven to take the veins in our arteries that are now clogged with plaque,
sclerosis,
and deplaque your arteries. Pomegranates are fabulous. For men, it gives you 25% more testosterone. It deplaques your arteries. Things in the plant-based foods that God designed to do that. Bananas are full of magnesium and potassium. What does magnesium and potassium do for yourself? What steak and pork chops can. And on the outside you look like you're buff, you're lean, and you've done all that, but what do your arteries look like? What are the nerves and the veins and the organs looking like? Because you've got excessive clots and hardening of the arteries and all that stuff going on, and now your vessels are getting older, oxidation because there's no antioxidants from fruits and berries and this and that, so I changed it. So I went in the morning, I have what Cubans used to love. I grew up with this, I love it. I have a banana milkshake, but I know milk. So I throw a couple bananas in there.
With water?
Ice, because it makes it thick. You know, a little bit of ice, and you got to experiment to get to the texture you want. So I throw a few bananas in there. Maybe I'll chop up some apples because apples have a lot of soluble and insoluble fiber. The soluble fiber gets into your veins and starts scraping everything out. So you get better blood flow, better circulation. So some of those guys, they look great, but what's the circulation body? Read how many bodybuilders have died of heart attacks.
Yeah.
Heart attacks,
follow us forward.
kidney issues. Yeah, why? Well, a lot of it, yes, steroid use, but what does a steroid do in your system, and what does all that excess protein do? in your kidneys, your organs,
Sclerosis, a lot of
sclerosis, yeah, blood flow sucks.
the heart in thickness, and it doesn't have like a consistent blood flow. It ruins the internal. You look great outside, but kidneys are overstressed, organs are overstressed all the time. It lets you get away with horrible bad diet because they eat like an obese person would eat, but they still sitting shredded, but they think they're being healthy, but the body's under stress. And again, we have our body mass index, BMI. Yes, they have muscle, but they're technically obese with muscle. The heart is all the time under stress. A lot of time you're carrying, and we all know that having more muscle after a certain age, it requires more blood flow. So the heart and all organs are more under stress. So it's not sustainable. The body has to be, everything was designed to have harmony. No?
Yes.
It's a balance of nothing can be extreme.
So are you doing just plant-based or are you doing?
Mostly I'll eat meat. I'm not a big organic meat, but I limit it now. And for the things in my life that I need protein or I need like collagen in my life, like for ligaments, stuff like that, then what I do is I'll get marine-based collagen. And marine-based collagen comes from the fins, the this and that we a lot of times don't eat because we want the finer things.
Yeah.
But there's a protein molecule, an amino acid called glycine. And I take glycine as a tablet. But glycine is huge in collagen, which it's the smallest amino acid, but it's one of the most
It's like a building block.
It's a building block. It's an anti-inflammatory. It builds your hair, your skin, your nails, glycine. But combined with alanine, which is another amino acid in certain collagens, not in muscle meat. Because if you eat too much muscle meat, what happens? You get overdosage of methionine, and that blocks out the collagen building stuff. So then your arteries, your ligaments, tendons start to suffer because they're not getting enough. And then for men, they show that a man that has a combination of glycine, alanine, and glutamic acid, they reversed prostate issues completely. Reversed it.
Glycine, what?
Glycine, glutamic acid, and alanine, which all three are in the right consistency in collagens, like bovine collagen, and I take marine collagen because it's more easily absorbed in your body. Okay, because you can have a lot of this stuff, but if your body isn't assimilating it, it doesn't do any good. But if your body is assimilating it, your hair, prostate, when you get older, I don't know how many guys at work have had operations, horrible effect, and I was having problems. But I started reading, and when I started changing and I started adding things to my diet, I'm like, completely reversed it. So I'm like, wow, it works. So a lot of stuff I've learned is because I went through the problem and I had to let me figure out and then read before somebody cuts me apart. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I did that. So now I have banana in the morning and apple in a milkshake that I love. I'm just, how good it used to. My mom used to make it with arroz con pollo and arroz con this and that, and I'd have a banana milkshake. Oh man, it was like heaven. I remember that from a kid. And so things like that, fruta bomba, whatever that I like. Yeah, I love to eat rice. I'm Cuban, doesn't eat rice. My grandpa, when we would feed him, because he came from Cuba, he was older, he lived with us. If we gave him some American food, and he loved McDonald's hamburgers, we'd make him puke. He would puke. And my grandpa came from Cuba. He was a Guajiro. And a Guajiro in Cuba, my grandpa was shredded. I mean, I'm not just saying because of my grandpa, he was shredded.
Yeah, that's strong. That's strong.
My mom say, salía a las 2 de la mañana a cortar caña, lo que sea, leña, lo que sea, para el fogón. He was a worker in the fields. They were Guajiros. And when he came from Cuba, he was already in his 70s. I remember he take off his shirt. I'm like,
Yeah, I think it.
like, Oh, how? And just from hard work and eating the right foods. Yeah, they were campesinos, man. And so I look at them like, wait a minute, you know what? Yeah. So I went back to that. I went back to eating a lot of rice. My grandpa was even, we didn't know if there's rice.
Oh, so
I
you're
lost
still
my
doing
track.
like carbs? So
I love
Well,
carbs, yeah. And
But mostly in the afternoon, no, not in the morning.
No, I do it all the time.
All the time?
I'll tell you how I do it. It's because I don't have that problem. So my grandpa, you feed him rice, they're great, but now I got to the point where like, if you hadn't fed him rice, it's like, yo no comido todavía.
I know, that's
Yo no
probably.
comido todavía, no está el arroz. And rice goes with everything. I don't care what you eat, rice goes with everything. And rice and peanut butter if I want, man, I don't care. But I eat rice. I like, why am I going to keep myself from things I like? So what I do with it, to keep the glycemic level down, you mix some olive oil with it, and it drops. If you mix good fats with it, it drops the glycemic level down.
Oh,
So you don't
like
get
it
the
dilutes
peaks.
it, basically.
Yes. So I got a jar of minced garlic. It smells horrible. I love it. so I'll put garlic in there, and I'll take Celtic sea salt, which has all the minerals. Regular table salt is not good for you because it's stripped of everything but the sodium chloride. But regular salt you get that's not processed has all the other minerals, like 78 other minerals, that balance everything out. You need it for digestion, for your electrolytes, all that. So I mixed salt in with the rice and garlic and olive oil, and I'm like, oh man, I'm in heaven, man. I'll chop up some onions, and I'm like, I grew up with that. I was
Yeah,
Cuban,
yeah.
so why am I going to deprive myself of the foods that I grew up liking? So that's what I eat. The crash in the mornings at lunchtime is because people drain me. So what do? Un cafecito, man. and I go to 7-Eleven because they have packets of honey instead of sugar. And so I'll open up, not all 7-Elevens do, 2 7-Elevens that I go to have the packets of honey, a ton of it. So I open up like 3 packets of honey. And I just put it in there first, and I put a little bit of coffee, and I mix it. Once it's all mixed, then I just pour the rest of the coffee in the cup. And I got coffee, but instead of sugar, it's honey.
Yeah.
And I got that, and maybe I'll take a croissant and work, and that fills me. I'm good.
What is a croissant?
A croissant is a French, yeah, but it's made with butter, not soil. Soil is not good for you, man. Soil increases your
Soy oil?
That's bad for you. It increases your estrogen to the point where for women it gives them female cancers because it got overabundance of estrogen. For men, it destroys your prostate because it starts replacing instead of the testosterone. So I read it. If it has soy in it, I don't want it. But if it's made with butter, bring it on, man. Because it makes you feel full. So pan con café, oh man, I'm good. I'm so good. So that's what fills me. How many Cubans on the island that you see them, like I saw the story of the old man in the sea, the fisherman. In the morning, un cafecito, and is good for the rest of the day. Why? Some of these fishermen, they go out and they're out fishing all day. And I was reading this thing about these Cuban fishermen in Havana Bay. And they're out there all night in these balsas, and they're fishing. And when they come home, they got all these fish they'll sell, or they hang up in their house. But when he gets home, I watch this guy. His mother still lives with him. Le echo un poquito de café. He's good, man. He's good. So I've learned not to do a lot, so I'm like, this. But this morning I had café bustelo. In the morning I had café bustelo. I had some croissants with a lot of honey because it's so good. And honey has chrism. Chrism just undoes the estrogen in your body to build up your testosterone. Even for women it's good because they get too much, you get cancers. Cancer of breast, cancer of everything. And so I have croissants with real honey, raw, unfiltered honey with Buste Café and café. I have a banana milkshake or bananas and apples, and I'm good. At lunchtime, I go to Panda. Why? Because I can order the white rice.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know you're going for the rice.
I get an a la carte of white rice. It's not bad as carbs. Like, shut up, man, good. So, but I take that and I mix it with stuff. And then it's good. Then I'm like eating that rice. But if you go to Panda, there's like, it's horrible because they don't have any salt in it. So it's like, oh man, it's like, I gotta have salt. So I used to take some of the salt with me that I got the Celtics sea salt, and I mix it in there, and tiro unas pasas adentro, man, raisins and whatever, and walnuts.
Tremenda locura.
Yeah, man, I'm like, I'm in heaven, man, I'm good. Everybody's always eating their pizzas, hamburgers, I got rice, I'm good. If I eat rice with anything, man, I'm good. I ask my wife, I get home, and she doesn't make anything, and she's still wet. I'm like, I make a pot of rice, man. It's easy. You get, cup or half a cup thrown in the rice maker, 2 things of water, mix it up, just click. 20 minutes later, I'm throwing garlic and onions and raisins or whatever. I'm eating my rice, man. So I feel better. It keeps my weight down. It keeps me satiated. It keeps me the anti-inflammatories. I eat raisins, have a lot of anti-inflammatory, a lot of potassium. They have resveratrol that you get from grapes. They keep you young. So I still eat meat, but I don't eat it like I used to because I know as I get older, blood clots, fibroids, kidney issues. And so I just stick mostly with things in the vegetable world that I like quite a little bit.